In today's edition of the program, we are focusing on the recent tournament which just ended in Cameroon. We are talking about Total Energies AFCON 2021, and we shall equally tell you about the separatist leaders who have written a letter concerning how they want the war in the northwest and southwest regions of the country to come to an end. And the newspapers this morning telling us that ever since the secret meeting which held between the separatist leaders in Yaoundé and the government of the Republic of Cameroon, and the resolutions or what the separatist leaders wanted the government to do concerning the ceasefire has not been done right up to today, and we shall be telling you more on that and other burning issues in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Bomotonguina, Gwladys is here with us this morning. As usual, let's have the headlines in the French language. Bonjour Gwladys.
Bonjour Lasha, bonjour à vous et merci de rester fidèle à ma Média Prime et télévision. Alors ce matin, nous allons débuter avec le journal L'Anecdote qui nous parle de la CAN Total Énergie Cameroun 2021. Une CAN à succès, une promesse donc qui a été tenue. La 33e édition de la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations de football s'est refermée et ce dimanche à Yaoundé avec le premier sacre du Sénégal contre l'Égypte. Les détails sont en page 3 de ce journal. Nous continuons ce matin avec le journal Vision économique qui parle d'une mention très bien en ce qui concerne l'organisation de la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations par le Cameroun. Les détails sont donc en page 3 de ce journal. Nous poursuivons ce matin avec le journal Réalité qui parle de Camwater. Le directeur général Gervais Bolenga lance bientôt les travaux des usines de production d'eau pour 20 villes. Les détails sont donc en page 3 de ce journal. À Bafia, dans le Mbam et Kim, le maire Marthe Zintiem lance le tout premier marché à bétail du Mbam. Les détails sont donc en page 6 et 9 de ce journal. Nous poursuivons ce matin avec le journal Mutation qui nous parle d'Elecam, le bal des illégaux. 14 membres sur 18 du conseil électoral sont donc en situation d'illégalité depuis le 25 avril 2021. Les détails sont donc en page 7 de ce journal. En page 9, le journal nous parle d'un retour à la grippe aviaire au Cameroun. Nous terminons ce matin avec le journal Éco-Santé, lui aussi qui revient et nous parle de la grippe aviaire qui est de retour au Cameroun. Notre foyer de grippe aviaire a été découvert à l'exploitation avicole de Nkonso à Bamongoum. Les détails sont donc en page 7 de ce journal. Mesdames, Messieurs, c'est ici que nous nous arrêtons pour cette revue de presse en langue française. Place à la découverte de ces titres en langue anglaise avec toi, Lasha Kinsley.
Thank you, Bomotonguina. Gwladys, let's kickstart with the Post newspaper this morning. The Post newspaper is telling us this morning that government remains mute over separatist leaders' ceasefire conditions. According to the paper, the government of the Republic of Cameroon has remained mute several months after the separatist leaders reportedly forwarded to them the document that contains proposed preconditions for the ceasefire, or a ceasefire that would put an end to the ongoing deadly Anglophone crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. The Post newspaper told us, or is telling us this morning, that the separatist leaders at the Koningi maximum security prison in Yaoundé sent the document after they had two secret meetings with government officials or government envoys and the Mvule neighborhood in Yaoundé, the political capital of Cameroon. We stay with the Post newspaper to talk about these accusations on the military of the Republic of Cameroon by Human Rights Watch. The international non-governmental organization has said the military of Cameroon has committed atrocities in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. You can get more details about the accusations by Human Rights Watch on page 7 of this edition of the Post newspaper. The Post newspaper is also telling us this morning about or revisiting the victims victory of Senegalese Teranga Lions after they beat Egypt during the final of the Total Energies African Cup of Nations 2021. That was in Yaoundé, the political capital of Cameroon. They beat the Egyptian team to lift the trophy for the very first time. More details in this edition of the Post newspaper. On to the Guardian Post newspaper to talk about this power tussle that has further sung Ambazonian independence struggle. The paper is telling us this morning that power tussle further sinks Ambazonian independence struggle after sacking Chris Anu. Samuel Sako impeached by Ambazonia Restoration Council. You can get more details in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper talking about the power tussle at the helm of the virtual Republic of Ambazonia. Only in this edition of the Set newspaper, which is also digging several layers by telling us that the perennial internal wranglings have been, rocking the Ambazonia independence struggle for years have further worsened, and bad blood amongst self-styled leaders of the movement, observers are saying, is showing its ugly head every passing day. And we are told that one of the several splinter groups battling for supremacy within the movement dubbed Ambazonia Restoration Council is at the helm or origin of the fresh tsunami, further taking the dream of independence movement into abyss. On Friday, February 2, 2022, the Restoration Council, according to the paper, which considers itself as the legislative arm of the virtual Republic of Ambazonia, in a statement issued saying it had impeached Samuel Sako Ikome from the position of President of Ambazonia Interim Government. More details on page 3 of this edition of the Set newspaper. Let's talk about this Cameroonian that has received an award from the African Union at the summit, at the AU summit in Addis Ababa. Cameroonian woman received 17 million francs CFA Pan-African Literature Prize, and the Cameroonian female writer and novelist Ovalete Lewat has officially revealed or received her award. That was at the General Assembly or during the meeting, the AU meeting in Addis Ababa. The renowned author who won the coveted prize last year was officially presented the award at the 40th ordinary session of the Executive Council of the African Union AU, which took place in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. More details on page 7 of this edition of the Set newspaper. Let's talk about this imposed tax on cocoa farmers in Bonge subdivision, that's in the southwest region of Cameroon. Farmers in distress as Ambazonia fighters imposed a heavy tax on cocoa business. More details in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. Let's take you now to Municipal Updates. Municipal Updates newspaper this morning is interested in the just ended African Cup of Nations that was held by Cameroon. The paper writes in one of its lead story or major headlines that Africa hails Biya for best AFCON ever. President Paul Biya, who organized the tournament in the country, has been hailed by the entire African continent for a smooth and excellent organization of the just ended football jamboree in Cameroon. More details in this edition of Municipal Updates newspaper. We end with the Median. The Median newspaper this morning is focusing on the recent outing of Sisiku Ayuk Tabe, the jail Ambazonia leader. The paper quotes him as saying, "It is painful staying in jail, but I have no regrets." Those were the words of Sisiku Ayuk Tabe as being relayed by the Median newspaper this morning. We are back to continue with our discussions this morning, and we're receiving Baneh Elvis, who is the National Communications Secretary to the Popular Action Party. He is joining us from the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. Good morning, Elvis, and welcome once again.
Good morning, Mr. Lasha, Kingsley. Good morning to you, Gwladys, who is there with you in the studio, and good morning to all viewers of my prime.
Yes, President Paul Biya has been hailed for a smooth and excellent organization of the African Cup of Nations Total Energies 2021. after everything, the entire African continent, according to Municipal Updates newspaper, has hailed President Paul Biya for the organization of the just ended tournament. What is your own appraisal of the entire tournament, or organization of the tournament, Elvis?
Well, let me begin by congratulating the Teranga Lions for their brilliant performance at the finals. Talking about the organization of the AFCON, well, I would say the organizers, they did a wonderful job. If you want to look at the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony, the parade, I would say it was good. We congratulate them for that. But talking about the success of AFCON as a whole, as far as we Cameroonians, because outsiders can congratulate, but we Cameroonians, we feel the pinch. We know at what cost AFCON has been organized in Cameroon, and we know that we started paying the price for it even before the AFCON started with the imposition of certain taxes like the Momo taxes or the money transfer on Cameroonians. So I want to think that if we want to limit ourselves to the aesthetic part of it, what we saw on day one and on the final day, we will say it was good. But now coming back, look at what Cameroonians stand to benefit, be it politically or economically. I will already say that first, it was a lost opportunity for Cameroonians and the government back to reconcile Cameroonians, and economically, we started paying and we are still paying the price, and we are going to continue paying the price. So I want to think that we should not limit ourselves to what outsiders who don't understand the situation back here are saying, but that as Cameroonians we should look at
are you saying that we didn't benefit
and politically, and that should be the focus?
Are you saying that we didn't benefit anything? Money didn't come into the country?
Mr. Lasha, if you come to think of it, look at the thousands of billions that were embezzled just around the concern of the different states around the country. And you imagine how much comes back into the coffers of the state. Let me say with respect to the tournament itself, how much did the Lions bring in as money? It is nothing compared to what was embezzled. Now, secondly, if you look at the situation economically speaking, we saw Cameroonians who lamented, for instance, at Olympic, especially with the unfortunate incident that saw people lose their lives, where people who had invested so much in business had to pack their things back to their respective homes or villages or towns because business was not booming. As we saw stadia which at the beginning were totally empty. People did not go to the different stadia when we know they were supposed to go and buy the different ticket or buy tickets. Secondly, at the end of the day, government budget is strategy where people were given tickets for free. Now the question is, where was the money taken to buy tickets and share for free? You will understand that the state might have used other methods to fill the stadia at the last part of the tournament, but in reality, Cameroonians that we expected should have been buying the tickets freely from their coffers. They could not, and they didn't do so because financially people are not comfortable within their spirit. So the truth is that as Cameroonians, we should not fool ourselves. What we have seen and what the international community has seen is look good in the eyes, but economically, like I said, and politically, Cameroonians are bleeding, and we are really bleeding, and we need to, now that the time is over.
So if you were to give Cameroon, if you were to rate Cameroon on 10, if you were to rate Cameroon on 10, what mark will you give Cameroon?
Mr. Lasha, if I'm to rate Cameroon, I think that would be very, very difficult for me to pronounce myself because we have.
So are you saying that Cameroon did not have a pass mark? Are you saying that we are not proud? Are you saying that you are not proud to be a Cameroonian, living the AFCON, seeing what our officials were able to do, organizing a tournament with 24 teams for the very first time? And also within the context of COVID-19, are you saying that we cannot have a pass mark? You cannot give us a pass mark when others are giving us pass mark? You don't want to give us a pass mark. Your party
it is not a matter of the pass mark that others are. I say we are looking at things from different perspectives. We are talking about things that were constructed and the pitches were even rejected, or some players were banned because of the pitches that were not good to play on. We are talking about money that have been embedded in billions. We are talking about people who are in jail today because they simply ask basic questions as to the fact that accounts should be rendered as to how the funds were managed. So forget about the past mark that others are giving. They are looking just at the aesthetic part of it. But I'm saying that as Cameroonians, if we go into details to consider every aspect of this AFCON to rate Cameroonians, I doubt if we are going to get a pass mark for it.
Okay, Gwladys.
Quelques exemples du manque à gagner des Camerounais dans cette organisation de la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations.
Les manques à gagner?
Oui. Vous avez dit que les Camerounais ont perdu sur tous les plans de manière économique. Quelques exemples de ces manques à gagner la part les Camerounais dans cette organisation de la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations?
Je vous citais tantôt, par exemple, le stade Olembe avec l'incident malheureux qui est survenu là-bas. On a vu les gens qui étaient obligés de payer bagage avec tout ce qu'ils ont investi dans les marchandises, par exemple. Ça, c'était un manque à gagner pour les Camerounais. De deux, n'oublions pas qu'avec la CAN, il fallait au moins avoir les routes pour les Camerounais, mais n'oublions pas qu'on n'a pas eu ces routes-là pour permettre aux Camerounais au moins de circuler, parce que s'il y avait des routes au moins construites en fonction de cette CAN qui devait arriver au Cameroun, après la CAN, au moins les routes devaient rester. Mais ce qu'on n'a pas. Avec les matchs de l'Olembe, on a pu bloquer les routes pour ceux qui venaient de l'ouest du Cameroun de 14h jusqu'à peut-être 1h du matin avant d'ouvrir les routes après les matchs. Donc, s'il y avait les routes, par exemple, qui étaient construites, mais toutes ces choses-là, l'État a manqué de prévoir et de faire en sorte que...
Mais ça prend du temps. It takes time to construct roads, Elvis. We don't just get up and we start constructing roads. It takes time and money too.
Thank you very much. It takes time and money, but the outcome did not come to us as a surprise. From at least about 2016, we knew already that we were going to organize AFCON. Mr. Lasha, we should not talk as if Cameroonians were taken unawares at the eve of the occasion in itself. No. Remember that by 2019, we were already supposed to, yes, I think 2019, if I'm not mistaken, we were already supposed to host, and it failed. And 2021, after 2 years after, we are still saying that it takes time. So when shall we take them to construct? Secondly, we are talking about an origin of 40 years. Some of these roads were even supposed to have been there even before the AFCON was ever handed over to Cameroon. So we should not want to talk as though Cameroonians were taken unawares at the eve of the occasion in itself. No, the government failed to provide roads. The government failed in giving us a good stadium because they invested so much billions, but we saw some stadiums being rejected.
But it's not over. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. President Paul Biya did say on the 31st of December 2021 that he's going to go after those who, squandered some monies that were meant for the organization of this tournament.
Is it the first time we are getting him promise that he's going to go after people?
No, he's been going. He's been doing so.
Are the same people who have been stealing from the state? Are we supposed to allow people to steal and we give them time when we shall get back to them for them to give us the accounts? People should learn to resign and they are arrested on the spot until they prove themselves innocent and they continue their work. We are talking about people that Cameroonians have been complaining against. They are still in active service and they continue to allocate them more billions to mismanage when we have charges against them or accusations against them. So forget about what Mr. Biya said. Not until he proves what he said, then we can never take him serious because it is not the first time he's promising and he has never changed anything.
Okay, Elvis, power tussle further sinks Ambazona independence struggle, writes the Guardian Post newspaper. We are told that the interim president of the Virtual Republic, Samuel Sako, has been impeached by the legislative arm of the said Virtual Republic. People are dying, they keep fighting.
Mr. Lasha, I am sorry to use the term I'm going to use.
Yes.
I would say those guys are all clowns, and many of them, I would call them thieves. I'm sorry to say this, but that's how I will put it. They are people who hijack a problem that Southern Cameroonians had a case which was a legitimate case, but they took advantage of it and they have made it and transformed it into a money-making issue for themselves. They have taken, they have forgotten about the welfare of the people, and what they fight for is their personal interest. The tussle, we understand, they are not fighting for the general interest of the Southern Cameroonians. They are fighting for themselves. It's but normal that things should move on the way they are moving. My concern is the case that Southern Cameroonians have, which is a genuine case. I can simply say is that no matter how they continue to fight among themselves, no matter for how long this government decides not to see into our case, Southern Cameroonians shall sooner or later get justice for what they are demanding. I think that's what's more important to me.
Yes, and we are equally told that in Bonge subdivision, the separatist fighters are demanding high taxes from cocoa farmers, and their leaders, instead of concentrating on controlling the boys on the ground so that they can protect the citizens they say they are protecting, they allow them and they are fighting for their own stomach.
Do not forget that most of the boys on the ground today no longer get the answer from those who are out there in the diaspora. Like I said, it has become a whole cacophony where we have those who may be genuine on the ground fighting for the real cause, but we have thieves who have also hijacked the whole situation. Taxing cocoa farmers in Bonge, it's not only in Bonge, we have seen in other countries People are being levied taxes left and right. The truth is that there are people who have hijacked the situation and they are using it to enrich themselves against the general interest of the people that they claim they are fighting for. It is an unfortunate situation, but like I say, even those who are today in the diaspora fighting, they don't even have control over some of those boys back there in ground zero. It's unfortunate, but I say for me, my focus remains the genuine case that our people as Southern communities have, which I am strongly convinced that they shall have justice for it.
And the Guardian Post in our opening, opening question, did raise the issue of secret meetings that the Guardian Post did bring to us this morning with Sisiku Ayuk-Tabe. Do you really think that Sisiku Ayuk-Tabe has an impact if he is released today, like one of the conditions that was in the letter that they wrote to the government or the Republic of Cameroon concerning ceasefire? Do you think that if the government listens to Sisiku Ayuk-Tabe, it will have an impact on the ground?
I am one of those who remain very, very optimistic and positive. Those who keep thinking that Sisiku Ayuk-Tabe has a very major role to play as far as dialogue in this country is concerned when it comes to the present situation we are facing in the country. Unfortunately, the problem here is the fact that we have an obstinate government that is not willing to talk with anybody. They start tagging people terrorists, but forgetting that it shall take the time that it will take, but they will have to end up one day discuss with these people. As to the fact that they are holding secret meetings, that to me is not a problem, it's not a surprise, it's but normal that such meetings should be able to take place. But the question is, the government on the other side of the table, are they willing to even sit and listen and talk? That's the problem. Let this government commit to dialogue, and of course,
if the government listens to Sisiku Ayuk,
and I want to say Ayuk-Tabe has a role to play.
If government listens, Elvis, if government listens to Ayuk-Tabe, will the boys on the ground also listen to Ayuk-Tabe?
Like I said, there are boys on ground who no longer pay allegiance to those who created them, but there are some who are genuine, there are some who still listen, and like I say, Ayuk-Tabe it's not just a matter of the boys who have guns, it's a matter of even the entire populace. There are many people out there who are embittered with the fact that Ayuk-Tabe and his people, alongside thousands of Southern communities, are in jail. Release those people, accept to dialogue with them, accept to talk with them, and you will appease thousands of families that can at least start considering the mentality or the stance that they have adopted as of now. Okay,
and and you think that would be the solution? Anyway, that's what your party thinks, and that's what you equally think.
Mr. Lasha, it's not a matter of what my party thinks. There is no worrying situation where we do not end up dialoguing. That's the problem. We are talking about dialogue here. Release people who are arrested, for some of them for no genuine reason. I said some for no genuine reason, but at least there should be a form of dialogue. Or if you wish, let's even start with a dialogue before we eventually get to the release of the people, because they will still have to be released today or tomorrow. But let there at least be dialogue. That is what we are asking for. That's what we are clamoring for.
The dialogue started already with a major national dialogue. It started already with a major national dialogue. I mean, the dialogue had already started with a major national dialogue.
There was a dialogue in Cameroon before. We should stop fooling ourselves. There was their so-called grand national dialogue. It was a dialogue amongst them. It was a monologue within the same party, the same camp. You cannot be talking with yourself and thinking that the other party will accept what you are saying. So there was never a genuine dialogue. We are calling for an inclusive dialogue where all the belligerents, all those who matter, all those who are active parties in the war are brought around the table to talk. Not you talking with your friends who understand your language and thinking that you will impose your resolutions on the other camp, which was not part of that same dialogue.
Okay, Elvis, thank you very much. Gwladys, you have one last question for Elvis.
Effectivement,
we have 30 seconds.
On a une autre crise au Cameroun et c'est celle de la grippe aviaire. Comment est-ce que le Cameroun aujourd'hui va s'en sortir avec cette autre crise de grippe aviaire au Cameroun?
Je pense déjà qu'avec cette crise, je ne sais pas déjà. C'est une crise, cette affaire de la grippe aviaire qui est récurrente chez nous. La première question que je voudrais poser, c'est les autorités en place, qu'est-ce qu'ils font souvent? Qu'est-ce qu'ils ont pris comme des mesures pour prévenir, des mesures préventives? Est-ce qu'il y a soit des mesures préventives prises par ce gouvernement? D'abord, je doute cela parce que c'est un gouvernement qui n'a jamais prévu quoi que ce soit pour les Camerounais. Parce qu'avec cette affaire qui est récurrente, l'État devait au moins déjà prendre certaines mesures et peut-être avoir des vaccins comme même. Soit on subventionne ceux qui font dans l'élevage, ou bien on peut même acheter. Est-ce
Est-ce que ce n'est pas un moyen pour...
L'État attend toujours et est toujours surpris parce que ce qui se passe dans le pays et ce qui n'est pas normal. Est-ce que nous, on décrit toujours avec ce genre de gouvernement que nous avons subi?
Est-ce qu'on regarde ça, l'économie du Cameroun ne risque pas d'être bousculée une fois de plus?
Pardon?
Est-ce qu'on regarde cette situation, l'économie du Cameroun ne risque pas d'être bougée une fois de plus?
Ce qui est sûr que l'économie est déjà bougée. Ça ne peut qu'aggraver la situation. Nous sommes déjà dans une situation très très empirique. Donc, c'est malheureux, c'est que, donc, parlant de l'économie du Cameroun, nous sommes déjà enfoncés et je ne peux qu'à ce stade-ci demander à ce gouvernement pour une fois de plus, vous voyez un peu, d'essayer au moins d'œuvrer avec certains Camerounais qui ne sont pas dans les cercles, dans les systèmes, mais au moins les gens qui ont un sens de patriotique et qui sont prêts à apporter un plus pour pouvoir faire en sorte que l'État puisse sortir de cette gangrenage là où le gouvernement est déjà enfoncé.
Okay, thank you, Elvis. Thank you for taking our time to be with us this morning. Thank you, televiewers of Media Prime, for watching this edition of the program, which was produced for us by Christain, Tebong. We were Bomotonguina, Gwladys, and myself, Lasha Kingsley. Stay with us as Prime Flash comes up after this.
Welcome to a new world of